We join the Super Legit crew before the show as Steven's heel turn karma bites him in the butt yet again with more microphone problems. Steven, can we do anything for you as well? Unfortunately, yours kept cutting out through your actual recording, so we have a little bit of fun.
It's going to be much easier this time. Right now, the deal is my dog just ate dinner while I was getting set up, and so now he's super fucking hyped up. It should be better because my wife's out of town. I'm in the house with the house internet. So is that a bit better as opposed to like me being on some tin can extension out in the garage?
Should
you do actually seem clearer.
Should we talk about the fact that your wife doesn't let you in the house?
Right.
I mean,
let that go.
You guys have met me, right? She has her reasons.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Deeply, deeply fair.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you all presumably remember the format, and if you don't, I don't feel like explaining it again because you'll figure it out.
Wow, super spicy tonight, sir. I like this.
Yeah.
Yes.
I thought I was the one doing a heel turn this season.
Could you do it for Will's sake, though, since he's a guest?
Oh, yeah. Will, a podcast is an audio recording that people put on the internet, and then other people can download it at will. It's like a radio show, but one you can listen to at a time.
Wait,
does that help?
That's what we're doing?
I just learned the word for this. There's a word for, and I didn't learn it because I can't remember it. But I just heard the word for, there is a term for when a piece of technology is integrated into the language of what you do, even though that technology itself is outdated. In the same way that we call this a phone,
right?
But nobody uses it to make phone calls.
You turn on a light,
taping a show.
Yes,
podcast is one of those things because Apple discontinued the iPod in 2016.
Sure, yeah. There's nothing with
there are no pods anymore, but there are podcasts.
Wow.
What about the people who control our government? Sorry, that's from one of my spin-off podcasts. Okay, all right.
Okay,
yeah.
Not pod people, lizard people.
Yes.
But we can debate that endlessly.
Yes. Which came first, the lizard or the pod?
And now we have the subject for the show. Great.
Lizard.
All right. Does anyone have anything they need to silence before we start recording?
Oh, good call.
My overwhelming election anxiety?
Good luck.
It's the Super Legit Podcast, everyone. I am your host, Jarrett Lennon Kaufman, a.k.a. Jet. And let's rattle off my cast for this week's episode. We, of course, have Josh Spence.
Cannot wait to hear from Michael Hyman.
Oh, you're going to be waiting a while. We have Chris Compton.
I would do the same thing, but slower.
We have Stephen C. James.
Still mad at you, Jet, and I don't like you. Again, season 3 heel turn.
Yes! Sticking to it. Oh, we've got Sean Michael Boozer.
Yes.
And there's Jen Burton.
Also, hello.
Just warms my heart. So lovely, so thoughtful. And then we do not have our co-host Michael Hyman. So I have to do his work for him this week. I know. It's a shocker. It's a disappointment. It hurts my heart. But we live. And we move on. And I'm going to move on, and I'm going to tell you who our guests are. We have 2 of them this week, and they're both returns. We have the return of our improviser friend, Chris Thompson.
I'm like the Chris Compton that you bought off of Temu.
Me too.
We're so lucky.
And we have our other friend of the podcast, not an improviser, but he's gotten some zingers into some scenes in the past. We'll see if he pulls it off tonight. No pressure. Will Reyes.
Hey, guys.
Woo!
I'm glad it'll be easy for me to remember this episode. It's the No Hyman episode.
Sounds like my love life.
Okay. All right.
Wait a minute. Do you want your love life to include Michael Hyman? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what
that
it
was the
sounds
takeaway from that. Yes.
I mean, that's the best case scenario.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. I was like,
if you're lucky.
Yes.
I want to point out that true friendship exists because I threw out that lame joke and Will was just right there laughing. didn't care, was just like, I got my guys back. Ha, 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 ha.
Everyone else groaned.
Yeah,
Josh,
for
we
sure.
come from improv.
Got
We don't have your back.
Yeah, you,
Oh.
you can't see this if you're listening to the podcast, but each of us individually grabbed our shirts and pulled them out. And went, oh.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get going with the question for this week's episode. This could be a fun one. Let's hope. It comes to us from listener Crank Johnson, and the question is, what? Sorry,
Why are you laughing?
I don't know. I don't
Is
know.
it
If
because
you'd met
the
Crank
word the
Johnson.
name crank is so
Yes.
common? Is that why you're
It is.
laughing?
Why are we not?
Yes.
Why are we not doing it the way it was intended, where it's Johnson, comma Crank, Johnson
Comma,
Crank.
Yeah. No,
Still
that
sounds
would
like
not
my
have
love
made
life.
me. That would not have made me crack in the way I did, because that's definitely not how I initially read that name.
Mhm.
Who's it?
The question is, what's the most useless talent you have?
Dude.
And I'm gonna. Yeah, please.
There's just so many that like I just. All right, so
So
here's
rank them for us. And
Okay.
then pick number one.
here's my top 3. Coming in number
Ooh.
3.
Yes.
Looking younger than I actually am. It doesn't
Yes.
serve me at all, and somehow it's talent. One thing I'm really good at is like, I've been driving forever, so I can tell when someone's about to make a shitty maneuver, like when they haven't put on their turn signal, or when they're
Yes.
about. Like, I am really, and I would say I'm like on 96%, like accurate.
I would
like,
argue that that's incredibly useful.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree.
But it
I
doesn't
would
impress
also-
anybody. I'm like, dude,
Yeah,
hey, this
you
guy's
can't
gonna
stop
hop
him.
in my lane, and nobody cares. Nobody cares.
Like if you rode a motorcycle, that's life saving.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
I don't ride a motorcycle, so it's
Oh,
just
well,
it's
then
just
who cares?
irritating all of my people
Yeah.
that are in the car with me.
I think the useless talent isn't so much being able to recognize it. The useless talent is pointing it out to people who don't care.
Well, see, here's the thing. If it's on my mind, it's going to be on everybody's mind. Like if I'm in the car and we're parked
You're going to make sure of it.
we're parked under the overpass of the freeway, and I have to say, because it's the first thing that's in my mind, I say out loud, so everybody's thinking the same thing. I hope the big one doesn't hit right now, because I'm thinking this is just going to pancake down to me,
Yeah.
and I don't want to be there alone. I want everybody.
We've
to be
all
in
thought
my yeah.
Mhm.
Yes.
And now I'm
Yes.
just sharing
Especially
that.
those of us who lived through the Northridge quake.
Now, are you one of those people who reads out loud every sign that you pass?
No, I don't. I will.
Okay.
I will definitely start doing that though. if
Okay.
I find-
Guys,
and
I feel like I'm on a bandstand. What's number one?
Oh, yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
number
Yeah.
one, it's really great. It's got a great beat. It's easy to dance to.
Excellent.
It is in fact, it's now a useless skill, but back when I honed my skill, it was incredibly helpful. I used to work for an attorney, and I was like so good at making a trifold of a paper
Oh.
where it was
Oh,
like
yes.
perfectly
To
like
fit
it
the
was.
envelope, yeah.
That's
dude,
what's
it
up.
was-
Size envelope.
It was
Yeah.
so
Freakishly good.
satisfying and so beautiful, but now like it does not. Nobody mails letters anymore. And
Yeah, you can't fold an email.
No, you can't. You can't. I can't even
Oh,
fold in an
wait till I
argument
tell you
on
about
an
the
email.
new app I'm working on.
And so those are like my list of useless skills. So
I really feel that last one because I feel like all of the job skills I developed right out of college were almost immediately became done in seconds by like any computer program. Like there was a temp job I had. It was like may have been the first temp job I had after graduating from college, and they sent me. I was in DC. Went to this like big foundation, the Wallace Global Fund, and my job was to take out a printed list of like all of their important names that they needed to have, and cut them each out, and then alphabetize them.
Cut them out of the paper?
Yeah.
Cut them
Cut
like
them
physically
out.
cut.
Physically cut them out in paper, and then put
Okay.
them in alphabetical order. Like I would have been
on
made-
a new piece of paper.
no,
like
just
a collage.
just in a row, just like stacked
Okay.
together.
So you were just a meat space version of the sort function in Excel.
Yeah. And actually, if you want to know why nonprofits don't work, this was in the late 1990s when it had already been solved.
Excel
by
had been a
computers.
thing
Oh my
for a
God.
solid decade.
wait, had they not heard of microfiche at this time? Either?
Super. All right, kid. Your first job, huh? I'm excited for you. This is gonna be great.
Thanks. I'm just excited to be here. You know, I've learned so much in school, and I'm ready to just like put that to the use in real life.
So, what we stop people out in here, this is called the email room. All right? All the interns start down here in the email room, and you work your way up.
All right,
you prove your moxie down here.
I got it. I got moxie. I got chutzpah. I'm ready to go.
All right. So
Hey, Bob, is this a new hire here? Is this a new hire?
Oh, yeah, it is. He's eager. We'll see if he can cut it.
Excuse me, I'm just coming in to use the ashtray in here. All right. You guys have a good day, huh?
Hey, great to meet you. I didn't actually meet you.
All right, kids. Listen, what's your name? They don't even bother to tell me the names anymore. People come and go every day.
It's Martin.
Martin.
Not
All right,
all
I'm not
of
gonna
us
remember
come
that
and
one. You're gonna
go.
make it.
Whoa, oh my
Not
God.
all of us come and go, Martin. Not all of us.
How's it going, Jerry?
It's like you were camouflaged against the wall.
Oh, you know how they say sometimes dogs and the owners start to look alike? I've been in this room so long that I've begun to resemble the wallpaper.
That's right. Jerry's been here since the DARPA days.
Yep.
Wow, that's a long time ago.
Thought I was gonna work my way out of the mailroom, but it just never worked out.
No, that's right. Email will be here forever. They keep moving on to these things like Slack and Teams, and you're never getting rid of email. At this point, it's 98% spam, but it's not going away.
I'm like the mailroom version of the Kevin Costner character from Bull Durham. I'm never gonna see the big time, but I'm never gonna stop trying.
Oh, wow, that reference is almost as dated as the rest of this job.
Oh, just you wait, kid. You know what I have over here? A rolled up poster of the movie Bull Durham. I sent this through the air tubes back in, I believe it was 93, years after the movie came out, just because somebody wanted to put it up in their office. After the release of Tin Cup.
Oh, Tin Cup? My great-great-great-grandfather told me about that movie. That was when society decided that Cheech Marin should be a buddy to Kevin Costner. Is that right?
Indeed. Just the same way you're going to be my buddy in this email room.
Briefly?
You're going to be my right hand. Well, I mean, you never know. Maybe this is going to be my turn now.
Oh, okay. I'm glad to learn from your wisdom.
Martin, come and sit on your grandpa's lap. Grandpa wants to tell you a story.
Okay.
It's a...
Okay, yeah, sorry, Grandpa.
That's right. Make yourself comfortable. This is going to take about 2 hours.
Oh, okay.
I want to tell you a story.
Can I
about
just
a man...
lean on the arms of the chair? I feel like your bones are half dust.
That's right. You got to crush them down.
Oh,
That's
okay.
part of the grandfather-grandson relationship.
I feel like I'm like standing on a granola bar.
There once was a man named Kevin Costner.
Is this a
And
limerick?
No.
Oh, sorry.
This is an important story.
I'm sorry.
And this man, he loved golf. All right? And one day he got this terrible affliction called the shanks. All right?
Okay.
And all of his buddies called him Tin Cup. And he needed help. Look, I'm just going to keep telling this story for as long as it takes.
I want to hear every word, Granddad. I want to hear everything you know about Tin Cup.
Well, Grandpa's memory's starting to go, but...
Wow. That grandpa of yours sounds like a fascinating fella. I mean, honestly, I'd like to get together with him and hear how the movie Tin Cup ended. Should that opportunity ever arise, young Martin.
Well, good news, because he's in the car right now, which is a crime. So I'm going to go get him out and bring him in, and he can finish telling you.
Martin, I got out of the car. I climbed
goodness.
out the window.
I had forgotten
there.
to roll it down, so I'm amazed you climbed out of it.
Wow, sometimes elder abuse is the goodest of news. Hello, good sir.
Hello to you, good sir. My name is Grandpa. What's your name?
My name is Jarrett, but I am, in fact, also a grandpa.
Oh, well, two grandpas. Let's just do a very gentle high five to that. You know what? That hurt.
My crepe-like skin just tore open anyway.
Oh, that is terrible.
Yep.
I heard you wanted to hear about the end of Tin Cup.
All right. What up, Shark Tank? My name is Bryce. These are my boyos, Carrie. What up? And Derry. What? We're coming to you with a game-changing idea. All right? Here's what we got. You know, you got your email right now. Everybody uses it. It ain't going away. However,
Nowhere, it's staying.
but you know what we lost? You know what
do
we
we
lost?
Tell them.
Remember back
Tell
in the
'em.
olden
You remember.
olden days,
Yeah.
your mom, your dad, they would go
Your
to
mama.
the bank. They fill out the piece of paper.
Got
They-
paper.
They
Paper
put
like
it in the
a
little
punk.
plastic thing. They put
What?
it in the tube. And
Plastic
what's
is
the
not good
sound?
for you?
Carrie, Jerry, what is the sound that the tube makes?
What?
Thunk. It goes thunk.
That's what I was saying. What? Thunk.
So, here's what we're pitching for you, investors.
Are you
Today.
listening? Opportunities coming your way.
We call it pneumatic. P-A-U-M-E-M-A-T-K. That's right, Tay. It's a combination of a T and an A. Tay. Pneumatic. It replaces the existing email client as we know it. All of the SMTP protocols completely changed. And instead, what happens is every time you send something from point A to point B, you get the satisfying sound of air rushing from one point to another. It goes thunk. You send an email from your phone goes thunk.
What?
Send it from your desktop goes thunk.
Yeah, it's me.
What?
It's me. It's me, Mr. Wonderful, the bald guy. I gotta say, I'm already pretty saturated in this end of the market. I see what you guys are doing here.
Opportunity is
I
so
see
thick
what
it's
you're
got
going
him
for.
wet.
But I gotta say, I'm out.
I hear you. I got 2 words in rebuttal to that, if I may.
Okay,
Hit him.
Okay.
Hit him.
To change your mind, I got 2 words in rebuttal.
Hit him. 1.
Thunk. Thunk.
Boom.
Boom.
I'm not hearing anything about holding on to clients or subscription rates. I don't see anything about what your back end costs are. I gotta say,
Listen. Kevin's not interested here. All right, that's accepted. Let's just move on to somebody who may be interested. Here.
Can I jump in? It's me, Matthew Lesko, the guy with the question marks all
Oh,
over
the
my
question
suit.
mark guy. I love you.
Yeah.
Please.
Is there any
Go
way
ahead,
I can
Matthew.
use this kind of pneumatic tube to, I don't know, get money from government contracts that will almost immediately be identified as some sort of criminal misallocation of funds?
I know I'm a hype man in this one, but can I take this one? Can I take this one? Can I get this one? Can I do this
Carrie,
one?
by all means, you go for it, man.
Nope.
I'm out.
Sorry, Mr. Lesko, we are all on the straight and narrow, but I will tell you this. We have a built-in B2B platform for integrating business-to-business conversation, integration, orientation, navigation, funk.
Get there. Point A to point B. It's about navigating a straight line, though.
I'm at a point in my life where I care about the people and about the effect on the people and about helping. All right? If there's not a helping angle to the business, I'm not interested.
Why do you hate capitalism?
You know, capitalism gave me my billions, but I want to make sure that those billions are turned into something that's taking care of the people. So how does this help the common man, especially because you're giving 10% and you're asking for $8 million for 10% of your company? That's quite a valuation. So how's this going to work?
That's called a deal.
Thank you, Carrie. If I may. So, obviously, global concerns are something that's
He's warming it up, y'all.
very, very important to all of us. We've all been paying attention to
Oh, yeah, he just built it.
situations,
He's about to drop that
both
beat.
what's developing locally and
Here we
overseas.
go.
Obviously, we're dealing with a housing crisis. There's war on,
He's just
on
edging.
multiple
He's just edging that
continents.
dollar. Yeah.
Uh,
Here we come.
and it's something, honestly,
Here it comes.
the idea of conservation
Oh yeah.
and energy conservation, protecting the one planet that we have, is
What?
something that's very near and dear to all of our hearts.
Yeah.
So, what I will say is
And drop.
that every funk is powered by carbon that we have captured from the air This is all funding a carbon recapture program, sucking carbon out of the air and using it to power pneumatic email.
How you like us now?
My name is I'm Kristen. I'm one of the new people who I'm just independently wealthy and not very bright, and I just want to invest in this just because I like the way you're making the sound thump. And if you could just keep making that, then I'm willing to just give you whatever you need. But I don't really care about the tube part. I just want you to come by every once in a while and just make that noise at my house.
Kristen, I got 3 words for you, baby doll. Thunk. Thunk.
1, 2.
Thunk.
Oh, Trey!
I'm gonna give you $2 million.
Legit.
That's how that show works, right?
Yeah,
I've never watched it.
I feel like
Literally
that's
never
pretty
seen an
faithful.
episode.
only in hotel rooms.
Super.
I don't care if I'm in the left-hand lane cow. I've done the math, and I have an 86% chance of getting into an accident, and I care about us too much to make that left-hand turn.
Well, of course you do, because I'm on the right side, and I'm the one that would take the full impact. I appreciate how much you care about me.
Great, so we're agreed. We are going to stay here, and we are going to wait till the odds change in our favor.
Oh, the odds will never be in our favor. Moving vehicles are a crime against nature. We should be walking.
Can I just pipe up from the back seat here?
Oh, of course. This is a...
Not to tell you how to drive or anything from back here.
I'm sorry, I'm going to cut you off real quick. I thought we bound and gagged him.
I felt bad about... the bounding I'm down with, the gagging, I feel like we should all have a voice. We're all in the car. Shouldn't we all get a vote?
Okay, but, I mean, we stole his car. He still has a voice?
Yes, because, at one time
Okay.
this was his car. It's our car now. But please,
Okay.
sir, speak up.
Sorry,
Thank you.
I apologize.
I
I'm sorry.
appreciate it. Absolutely. It's very kind of you. I'm just saying, if you're going to successfully get away with this carjacking, you're going to have to move along. That's all because the cops are going to show up eventually.
Oh my God,
Right.
They're
I hadn't even
Right.
thought of that. That's a great
going to have
point.
people backing up
Oh.
behind you, honking, you're holding up traffic. You're never going to get anywhere. So you're
Sir,
going to have to commit to this job.
What is your name?
It's Roberto.
Have you been using your phone? Is there an Amber Alert out for us right now?
No.
Yeah.
Have you, we trusted you.
A light
Are you-
amber.
are you lying to
Light.
us,
It's a
Bob?
light- perhaps a light amber. Maybe, honestly, I don't know my color spectrum that well. I'm not sure what's below an amber. Maybe an orange.
Is it like 74% of an amber? Like, you need... We've been doing a numbers game this whole time, and now you're
Okay.
it's like I
Okay,
need...
let's
To be
not.
clear, I told them how polite you are, so it's not like it's gonna be
Oh,
a big thing.
okay.
All right,
Okay,
I told
let's-
them,
that's
they
fine.
probably don't
Okay.
need guns.
I'm sorry, Chief. I'm red-green colorblind. I'm really unable to determine. It is either a lost child, a missing boat, or they have rescheduled a Major League playoff game. I can't quite tell you. If you could just
God
come over here and
damn
look
it,
at the computer,
Williams.
you'd know.
I need your badge and your gun on my desk right now. The mayor's been crawling up my ass all day. And you're telling me that you can't even... if you weren't the best goddamn detective I had on this force, I swear.
McCluskey, I'm telling you for the last time, you gotta get rid of all them colorblind fucks from your force. We can't have this anymore.
Hey, Mayor Tomlinson, I gotta tell you right now. Once upon a time, they didn't want colored detectives on the force. And now you're saying you don't want colorblind detectives? Well, my grandfather, who now works in a mailroom, wouldn't have been able to make it as a detective on this force if men like you were in charge back then. So you know what, Mayor? You can kiss my black ass.
And that, Martin, is the end of the movie Tin Cup.
Legit.
So, since it came up, that's what I was gonna bring up as my
Since that came
useless-
up, cool.
Yeah.
The movie
Right.
Tin Cup?
No, not quite. I was gonna bring up Pushing Tin, but I couldn't find a way to shoot
Okay.
it. No, I was gonna say my useless skill is that I can solve a Rubik's cube.
What?
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
Not like one of those fast kind of solves, but it takes me about
Oh, what are we
5
talking-
minutes.
Well, that's
It's better than I can do.
Still pretty
Uh,
impressive. Yeah.
Like
That's like
but it's not. It's
87%
the thing is,
cool.
it's really not. People think, oh, you must be like really mathematically, spatially. It's like, no, I watched a
Yeah.
YouTube video and I memorized a bunch of algorithms.
Mhm.
Wait a minute.
But I didn't, so good for you.
You started with, people think you must be really mathematically adept, but all I did was memorize a bunch of algorithms.
Who among us has not memorized a bunch of algorithms?
At long last, sir.
We all
I'm doing
have.
one right now.
You start with one, and then you just wind up at a bunch.
Yeah.
I mean, it's true.
But you can't memorize just one.
But the way that I have turned it into being somewhat useful is that it's on my resume. That I can solve a Rubik's Cube despite being colorblind, because I am red-green colorblind.
Ah, okay.
Oh, wow.
And so that does make it a little tricky. It's not that hard. It's just like, I know what side I have to... Because the whole thing about solving a Rubik's Cube is you start on one side, and then you just kind of gradually work your way to the other. And so I know
By
what...
pulling off
simple.
the stickers, right? and put the
Exactly.
second-
So wait,
Or
it's like
smashing
going
it
for a
against a wall.
walk.
That's
You
the
just start on
algorithm I
one
know.
side, you gradually work your way to the other side.
Very much so, but with algorithms.
This is why SMB has never slept in the same place twice. He never goes back. He just works his way to one side. Keeps going.
I wonder
I think
where
you're
I went.
underestimating the value of this, because this actually sounds very impressive.
Yeah,
and if you
it does.
impress somebody, that seems like it's valuable.
No one has... The thing that frustrates me is it's been on my resume for about 8 years. No one has ever called me on it. I keep a Rubik's Cube on my desk
Wow.
in case
All
it
right.
comes up.
Like having a guitar at the campfire.
Is that Rubik's Cube all white on all sides?
To be
Yeah.
fair, it is a job interview, and it would involve challenging you to prove your disability during a job interview. Which
and
There
also-
might be an HR issue with
yeah,
that.
it will literally turn the room
Yeah.
into a courtroom.
Because they'll
Also-
say, first let me hold up these two signs. One is green, one is red. Prove to me you can't recognize which is which before we start this puzzle.
You know, you say that, but like, I don't know if anybody else on the call is colorblind, or in the podcast is colorblind. Like that is
I for
I'm just
one
very
don't see
liberal.
color.
Mhm.
that is literally like, whenever anybody finds out that I'm colorblind, that the immediate reaction is, "Oh, you're colorblind? What color's my shirt?"
Oh,
It's like,
That's so rude.
you got me. You got
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Have
Did
you
they
ever
get
tried
you?
the color correcting glasses and it didn't make you cry?
Not only, Jen, not only have I tried them, I am one of the people crying in that documentary commercial that
No!
you're referencing.
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh my
Really?
gosh. That's so cool. I'm so impressed by this. It's almost
is-
as if you've just rattled off a bunch of algorithms. I really am.
Legit.
Those videos make me happy.
You've met a celebrity.
I am. I'll send a link after this. I'm one of those
Okay,
people.
I'd love to see it.
Yes, please. I would love to see
Throw that
that.
in the show notes.
You know what,
Also,
though?
by the way, if you're showing this off at a job interview, you're basically saying, "Hey, listen, there's a thing that I can do that shows that I can dick around, but not that efficiently."
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, pretty good.
So hold on. Half full glass. You know what? I haven't learned how to dick around since 1984.
Oh, you know what?
Yeah.
You know what is weird about like being like colorblind? It's one of the few disabilities where people think it's okay to fuck with you. Like, hey, what kind of shirt? What shirt am I wearing? Like, if somebody said they were dyslexic, you're like, hey, read that billboard. You would never challenge them on that, but for some reason, it's okay to go. What's my shirt? Isn't that wild?
It's
Yeah.
I feel weird calling it a disability, but like as far as because I mean I work in video games and I'm frequently on user interface teams, overseeing like the art that is like how the menus look, etc. How like player feedback is communicated, etc. And I've actually had designers say to me to my face, like, I don't give a shit that you can't see this.
Wow.
Oof.
And it's
Wow.
like
Well-
it's not that rare. It's something
No,
like
yeah,
1
yeah.
in 12
No,
people.
it's incredibly
Yes.
common.
like
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just that there are
Yeah.
a lot of people in America who don't consider a disability unless you get to park close. And then
yes,
they can also see visibly why you get to park close.
exactly
Right? So if it's
Yeah.
like,
Wait,
oh,
what,
my
why are we
kidneys are
bringing
failing.
ballet into this? What is happening? Am I missing something?
We don't all have rad sport cars, SMB. All right. Not all of us are driving Lambos.
Oh, okay, my bad.
I knew somebody who had like the grayscale equivalent of color.
Oh,
blindness.
that's my grandfather had that. That's wild.
Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah.
Wow.
But he was in graphic design, and he said the wild thing was because like he was able to teach himself what shades of gray correlated to most colors.
Oh wow.
So he could. I mean, it took effort, but he could pick out colors with some degree of accuracy. But he said he was also able to pick out a contrast that other people couldn't pick out.
That's absolutely a thing. Like my grandfather could pick a white-tailed deer out of the tree line from like a mile and a half away.
Right. And so like when he was working on graphic stuff, like he would notice like a layer of blue on top of another layer of blue that someone else thought was the same shade. Is like, no, these are two different colors and it's clashing. And it's like it was pretty cool. He said it was in the end, like it was actually very valuable for that. But
my grandfather could pick out a real American from 100 yards away. So.
Yeah, I will just say, as somebody who grew up in South Carolina, my grandfather was not colorblind. No danger of that being the case in any way, shape, or form. Not a hard laugh. Not a problem.
But no, Jet, because I also I've worked in graphic design. I have like a mathematical understanding of color. Like I can see, I can look at the hex values of two different colors and like figure out whether or not they'll look good together or not.
Yeah,
but if
I was going to say it's like the Matrix.
Other,
all you see is hex code coming down the screen. Yeah.
If I'm working in Photoshop, it's completely different because like I can see like the numeric value of it and be like, okay, well,
it's like the Matrix. You're Neo.
Yeah.
Actually, I would say it's more like
the numeric value.
Like I've never talked about color with a value like that. Like I'm like, this is how I feel about Rothkos. I mean, yeah, sure. Some people like them, not so much with me. It just seems more like a mathematical idea, and these are the basic colors I'm working with. And where's the beauty and joy in that? You know what I mean? I'm alone. All right, that's fine.
I think you just fucked up. You're in a room full of Rothko heads, all right, pal?
Yeah,
all right.
right.
I've been to the Rothko
clutching our
Church in
pearls.
Houston. I've spent hours there. You just messed up, man. I think somebody's lost a friend.
Hey, so this is the portion of the show where we have a sponsor pay the bills for us to keep this show on the internet. Now, Michael Hyman usually brings these to us as our co-host, but he's out this week. So, amazingly, our guest, Chris Thompson, was kind enough to bring a sponsor with him. I love that from a guest.
Yeah, this is a company that I've partnered with a lot in my own personal endeavors. They're kind of an oldie, but they're pretty swanky.
Oh, cool.
Go ahead and cue up the.
All right.
How you doing there, kiddos? Tired of watching your old grandmother crank the old Victrola around and listen to your music? Well, check out our new invention here, the Phonograph. That's right, Phonograph. Phonograph. Phonograph, the sky-age technology from Edison Enterprises. Not only does it work out your hand, it gives you crystal clear audio technology. But don't take our word for it. Listen to this hot little doughboy off of the front lines of Belgium, young Mr. Herbert Hoover, tell you what he thinks of the product. Listen to that crystal clear audio. It's like ringing a bell. That's right, for the low price of $39.95 per month for the next 14 months, you could have in your own very home the Phonograph. That's right, the Phonograph by Edison Technologies, now with 40% less racism as mandated by Congress.
Now,
That was
40% less
amazing.
racism sounds low, but remember what 100% was at that point.
Yes.
Yeah.
Woo.
I like that it got vintage. That's nice. I love a good wax
Yeah.
cylinder. Yeah.
I love that.
$39.95 a month is a lot for a phonograph for that time.
I mean,
I
it's
love that-
only...
But I guess it's the new technology.
Right.
No, I like that.
Didn't
the
you hear
only
how
thing that has
Chris?
evolved
It's
from
just
their
very
company is
expensive.
the pricing.
Right. Yeah.
Cutting edge.
I really love the idea, like that we got to hear like some of the artists' earlier work. That person that actually went on to be all the adults on Peanuts. That was
Yep.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Hoover he stuck around for a while. He was
prolific,
he had a lot to say.
prolific artist. Yep. Will, I would love to hear what you've got here. What are your useless talents?
So this is definitely useless because I can basically do like a Temu Mickey and a Temu Barney, and I say it's useless because I can't actually like do a script of it or anything. I can just do like 1 or 2 lines of it, and they're pretty much repeat. But
well, I think that'll be enough to get us sued. So go ahead.
That's all you do on TikTok.
Yeah.
I'll do my Pearl Jam impression after.
No. Hey, don't forget, Mickey's everybody's now. Yeah, go for it.
Oh, that's right.
Oh.
Yeah.
We're safe
So
there,
bring it.
as long as it's Steamboat Willie version. Right.
So
We're
it's just
working our
like,
way upward.
hey kids, Mickey here, hot dog. Oh, Toodles.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
And then
that
with
works.
Pretty great.
I said it was
That's all you
Temu, so it's it's
Yeah.
acceptable. And then with Barney, it's they both say their name and announce themselves, but hey kids, Barney here. I love you. So, and you can't. I say they're useless because they can only impress toddlers. And other than that, I mean, I can't say any other phrases, but I think it applies.
The Barney was good enough that I wanted to punch you, so we're good.
Super.
So, Barney, what are you doing down on one knee? Oh my God.
I love you.
Oh my God. I don't know how to tell you this, but I don't think I'm ready for marriage. It's not that you aren't wonderful. All right? And I know how much you care for me, but I just don't think we're ready to take that step. I'm not saying it's not ever, but the most important thing is how you feel about me.
I love you.
And I love you too. And I'm not giving up on what we have. All right? I remember when we were there, when we took that trip to New York, and we were at the Empire State Building, and that was the first time you turned to me and said,
I love you.
Barney, come on in. Have a seat. This is the hardest part of my job. I'm not gonna lie. I respect the hell out of you. You've been a valuable asset to this company for 15 years. But unfortunately, after the merger, the new bosses, the money men are telling us that we got to make some cuts, and they're forcing me to find redundancies across every department. And unfortunately, you're the one who, because you've been here for a while, they see the most savings in cutting a tenured employee. So I'm afraid that we're gonna have to let you go.
But I'm Barney.
I know. You're an institution in this place. Everybody loves you. We love those funny emails that you forward to us. You're such a cut up, but there's nobody else. I mean, you're a 3-man department. And
Mr. Peterson, I am so sorry to interrupt, but Mickey is here as well, and it demands to just come into the office right now. So I'm just gonna let him in. I'm so sorry, Mickey. Here you are. This is Mr. Peterson. I'll be outside.
I want a hot dog.
Mr. Mouse, for the last time.
Mickey, Barney, you guys have a strong relationship. I'm here to make sure that we don't let that fall apart over something that is, in hindsight, gonna feel small. So I want you to look each other in the eye and tell each other how you really feel about each other.
I love you.
Great. Okay, so Mickey, how do you feel hearing that? How does that make you feel?
Hot dog.
legit. Oh my God.
That was a delight.
All timer.
I like how I didn't have to memorize any other lines or anything else. Like I'm just gonna
Not
stick
an
to it.
improviser,
Yeah.
my ass. That's
Sometimes it's the simple joys.
Oh, that felt so good. That felt so good.
Mantras are a big thing in improv, and you just passed to level 1 right there.
Well, I just want you to know you hit gold when you see St. James just like pinching the area between his eyes as he's crying.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Oh God, it was just all Oh, so much joy.
I'm glad.
So mine comes with a little bit of story time.
Oh yeah.
So as many people who are longtime listeners know, I'm like 90% sure I've got ADHD, thanks to my doctor, Jet Kaufman. And in seventh grade, I barely passed math. I wound up ineligible for a bunch of stuff. And in 8th grade, I literally failed. I spent my bus ride home from the 8th grade party.
Hold on, wait. What were you ineligible for?
Performing and playing sports.
Oh,
yeah. So I spent my 8th grade, my ride home from the 8th grade party crying, thinking that failing math meant I wasn't going on to freshman in high school, but they don't hold people back. And one of the main reasons why I never passed those classes is because I spent all my time learning to do this.
So ask yourself, have you done any algebra today? Well, you've done that 27 times.
And here's the thing. I'm a middle school teacher. I do algebra all the time, but I didn't learn it until 1999 when I started teaching. And I had to have one of the 8th grade math teachers at my school be like, hey, can you come down here? I need to help this kid with his homework, so you need to help me with this kid's homework.
SCJ, if you wanted to do a quick, PSA about that, I think that would really get us going. That would be great at some point if you want to do one of those.
I mean, I do them all the time in my classroom, but I can do I can okay. Hi everybody, I'm Stephen James, and you might recognize me from such things as the Super Legit podcast and the occasional once-a-year performances of my improv group Nerdvana. I'm here to tell you today about how you can brighten your future. And the way that you do that is stop trying to impress your friends with funny noises. Sure, you may have gotten good at the or even the but none of those things are going to get you through college. What is going to get you through college? Hard work and hard alcohol. So remember, it's noises that are bad and bourbon that's delicious. Remember, kids, now you know, and knowing is half of the drinking problem.
Cheers.
Alright, do you know, I just watched that ad, and here's the thing, I don't make stupid noises for other people, I do it for me. And so if you're out there doing it for other people, that's on you, that's something you need to fix in your life. The bourbon part, he's dead on about that. I mean, I'm still in 7th grade, and my life has been great because of bourbon. I'm 37 years old now, and
we didn't hold you back. We didn't, you can leave at 18. Like, we would like you to not be in this middle school.
Oh, but dude, I already have my own parking spot. It's always open. It's cool, and my little.
You're the only student with a parking spot. Because you're the only student driving a car, because you are 20 years older than the older siblings of most of these children.
That's why I fucking dominate on the basketball court.
I'm so sorry to interrupt this, but, as his teacher and also his wife,
what's up, Cindy?
I just want to say he still does not know anything. And I really think that he needs to be continuing on until he passes. And I just haven't had for the last 20 years a good reason to pass him. Right, he can't do math. He can make this one noise. Honey, do the noise for him. He's been working on that for 20 years. You see where I'm at.
I will say this, Principal. Cindy can tell you, I don't say this very often, but she is absolutely right about this.
Look, I am staring at her contract, and it is astounding to me that she is the only teacher here legally allowed to marry a student.
Well, I did wait until he was of age, and I wasn't attracted to him until after that, because I'm not a...
You know what's funny?
This seems like kind of an Air Bud rule of like, oh, I guess you can marry a middle school student if they're in their 30s. It's just no one expected it to come up.
It's a loophole in the school system.
I don't know why we're debating this and not how awesome my sounds are.
Show your other sound.
Oh, that
Do
one?
that other sound. That's... That's the one that got me to marry him.
At this point in the episode, we had a recording error and half our cast lost their connections, but we worked really hard to make sure the transition back was seamless.
That was
I've got one.
Oh,
So
great.
one, like, I guess it's a useless talent I have is I'm really, like, I'm unable to like uphold a lie. Like when somebody sets me up and like asks me to like do something and pretend that I'm doing something, like I can't fake it. So like I immediately give up the game. Like here's a hypothetical example. So imagine I was on a podcast and like it completely broke down. And we were trying to cover up a bad edit on a scene, and like so just like hypothetical example, they say everybody laugh, and then Chris say I've got one. And then what I would say is, so I guess like maybe a weird talent of mine is that I'm unable to really kind of carry a lie.
This was
like,
the original pitch of Groundhog Day.
That's
we should have an edit point somewhere in there.
Yeah. Well, we'll find it eventually, but I might just loop that a few more times just to fill up extra time.
No,
let's do that.
I would say like the kind of useless things. Which is like I'm too cheap to buy a video game console, and I have a 8-year-old child. Not really too cheap, but like she wants a Nintendo Switch, and they keep being just about to release the next one.
Oh,
and I don't want to be the like I got you an Atari 2600. Dad, the PS5 just came out. So what we've been doing instead is you can basically go online and play any old like Nintendo game or Super Nintendo game or whatever.
Yeah.
So my daughter and I have been playing a lot of games from like 1986, which it turns out I still have the muscle memory for, which is crazy. Like I could still do like I can even just like if I think hard enough I can make the music just appear.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Super Mario Brothers, Metroid, like my brain, like clearly things that should have been having like great career decisions were taken up by how to get to the warp zone on 1-4 of Super Mario Brothers.
Attaboy.
Yeah,
I have done this. Yes, yeah.
That never goes away.
I mentioned it last season, but I recently got like a retro console, a little mini portable that has like access to tons of games on this clamshell. It's just like shaped like a Game Boy Advance SP, and it is the same thing. Like I'm instantly back in games where like I'm remembering combos and moves and button combinations and like the timing of things. It's like I literally haven't played this game in 20 years, and yet I instantly remember it like I was playing it yesterday.
Now, of course, speaking as your non-professional legal representative, I think the reason why is because you both own copies of those games that you've already paid for in completely legal ways, and so these emulations that you're using on these other devices are completely legal.
Yeah, they are backup copies of games that I have already paid for.
Thank you,
and played, owned
Yes.
copies of many, many times. I appreciate it.
You guys know this is being recorded, right? I mean, theoretically, given what just happened a couple minutes ago.
People don't know, but besides being a middle school drama teacher, Stephen has moonlights as emergency podcast attorney.
Tonight on Emergency Podcast Attorney.
Of course, you mean you were maybe snorting coke, allegedly, with Horatio Sands, right?
Yeah. Was he not? Tonight at 11.
Legit?
That's the season finale. Yeah, it's
legit.
the season finale.
That's all we need. Yeah. Josh, buddy, I would love to hear your useless talent.
Yeah.
And if it's something I already know, I don't know, but I'm gonna wait for it.
I don't think so. I keep it pretty close to the vest, maybe. It happens about 47% of the time, but I'm pretty good at landing on the exact dollar figure when I pump gas.
Oh, that's useful.
Oh, nice.
Like $40 first try. I'm so.
Can I ask you a
I'm so
very
stoked.
honest question?
Yeah, sure.
When you do that, do you think about that American Express commercial with Jerry Seinfeld from like the late 90s?
100%.
I think I'm not. You know
No,
the
you're
expression
not.
"something lives rent free in your head." I literally think about that
that.
commercial every single time I am pumping gas.
My brain
I've done
is
so for 25 years.
Now, I have an important marketing question to ask you. Do you have an American Express card?
Oh God, no.
No. Here's
I have the one that
another
came with
thing,
my
too.
wallet.
Does anybody here still pay cash for gas? Or are you bumping up the double zeros on a credit card where it does not matter? It does not matter one bit. Because that's the thing. I'm using a card, and I'm still like, I want it to be an even amount for that statement that I never look at.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
I occasionally pay cash.
So you guys aren't paying attention to the little commercials that are running on the little pumps while you're
God.
pumping. That's all I'm doing. I'm
I
like,
hate those
those
so
cookies
much.
do look good. I should walk inside and get some of those.
I've learned which buttons mute it on any of the ones that you can mute it on. Like now they've moved to ones that are a touchscreen only, but on any of the ones that have buttons along the side, usually like the top right or second from the top right button, if you press that, it will mute the damn thing.
I
And
did
you
not
call
know that.
yourself a
It's
good
magic.
union member. You're costing those people jobs. That's a SAG-AFTRA person who doesn't work now because you've been muting their craft, you bastard.
I would love to see a
Heel
PSA
turn.
on this, SCJ.
Hi, I'm Stephen C. James, and I'm here to tell you, fuck Jet Kaufman.
Oh dear.
That was great. The one other thing I wanted to
Hold on,
also
I
mention-
think this sounds like a job for emergency podcast attorney.
I'm sorry, I mean, allegedly fuck Jet Kaufman.
Okay.
You're so
the one other note I want to add to every time I get it right, and I feel like a dork afterwards, is I'll hit it like right on 30 or 40 or whatever it is I needed to. But as soon as I do, I kind of do this like look to the left and the right to see if anybody else saw what I did. Nobody fucking cares, but I'm like, you guys see that? Oh, there's somebody here? Oh, well, I saw it. It was pretty cool. Yeah, I'm right. And I just go on my day. But one of these days, I'm hoping somebody will be like, dude, I saw that. First try. Attaboy.
Just like the attendant comes out and just,
yeah! Yes! Thank you.
Super. Excuse me, sir. The first time you hit double zeros, I said nothing. The second time, I also remained quiet. The third time, you bet I was paying attention. But this, the fifth time, I have something for you, sir. Here, you have a copy of our bathroom key. You may use this anytime you'd like. Please keep the foot-long piece of PVC pipe attached to it. We still don't want it getting lost, but for you, sir, anytime you need, you can use our immaculate for a gas station bathroom. That's it?
Thank you.
Oh.
Legit.
Thank you.
I tell you,
Hey, Spence, you playing tonight?
Nikki was reading a book.
Yeah, you clock out? You okay?
He was so overcome with finally getting the credit he so desperately
Yeah,
deserved.
and this is why no one thanks you. Yeah.
I tell you, I heard that whole scene, and the only thing in my head is the immaculate for a gas station conception.
I love that too. I was like, he's being the lawyer and
Beautiful.
the character at the same time. The qualifier for a gas station. That was beautiful.
I have a useless skill, but I feel like I've talked about it on the podcast before. Have I talked about my earthquake premonitions?
No.
Oh, no, but I have them
Oh.
too, so I want to hear this and see how they match up.
So, I have this ability to, if there is an earthquake that happens while I'm sleeping, I will wake up about 10 seconds before it actually begins, and
Oh, wow.
then it will begin. And it's completely useless because there's not enough time to do anything except for scream just for a short bit of time before everything crumbles
if
on
you're
your head.
asleep, may I ask this? If you're asleep, do you think perhaps you felt a quake and then as you
Now,
came
see,
to consciousness?
Here's the reason why I know that's not true is because I went through a very large earthquake
Mhm.
with another person, and that person said that what woke them up was I was sitting up in bed screaming at the top of my lungs.
But that's just
And
Tuesday,
then
that's
the
Tuesday
earthquake
night, though,
began.
right? Isn't
I was
that
gonna
how
say,
you get to
well-
sleep?
Yeah,
I have a question on the other side of the spectrum.
yes.
How often do you know how often you get false positives where you wake up screaming and you're like,
Well,
oh wait,
I
no, it's
don't-
just the cat, and then fall back asleep.
Well, I don't have a cat anymore. That's a different sad
Gotcha,
story.
Chris.
I don't. I mean, I guess the only reason why I know it's not a false positive is because usually I wake up and nothing is happening, and I'm like, "Why am I awake?" And then the earthquake begins.
So
Weird.
It's very strange. I mean, I could be. I see what you're saying. Like, it may be in my sleepy haze. The only real proof I have is that one time with that person. But
I'm so glad you changed your question from waking up when you're like, why am I awake, as opposed to why am I still alive? So you're making progress.
So I want to ask. I want to ask from another perspective here. Do you think it's possible that you wake up and you were so angry that you have been woken up in the middle of the night that you physically cause an earthquake?
you know what? That could
like
be true.
this.
Just with
Yeah.
mental
Mhm.
rage
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
soaking down of the earth.
super.
39, 40.
No. What?
Nothing.
I'm not. What are we doing here?
I
Nothing.
didn't.
Flump.
Ah, there it goes. There it goes. There it goes. You see it? You see it? Ladies and gentlemen, that is what we call the Chicago Pile moment. That is the first.
And
boom.
with that thwump,
I
bring you to
invested
the
in this.
end of this episode of the Super Legit podcast.
Oh, man, I was just about to feel the earthquake at the end of that scene when the thump happened. That was going to be the sound of the earthquake.
Thank you to Matt Walker for our intro and outro music. Every scene you heard today was improvised on the spot, along with some of the ads, and edited for more thwumping. If you're loving what we're doing, please pause real quick and write a 5-star review before you close the app, and tell a friend about us. If you want to submit your own questions for the show, PM or tag us on Instagram, Facebook, or Threads, or email contact@superlegitpod.com. Tonight's regular cast included Josh Spence, Jen Burton, Stephen C. James, Chris Compton, Sean Michael Boozer.
Hey, why do we have so
And then
many
our
Stephen
special
C.
guest.
Jameses on the show?
I retook it so that I could edit it, but now I can't. Son of a bitch. Oh, and our guests this week are Chris Thompson and Will Reyes. Let's go down the line real quick. Chris, anywhere you want people to follow you online, anything you want to promote, all those major projects that are publicly facing that you want people to know about?
If you happen to live in Council District 2 of Los Angeles, vote for Jillian Burgos.
Sweet. Awesome. And Will Reyes, I know you've got a book. I don't know if you want to promote that again, but please do.
Yeah.
Or anything else.
Yes, sir. Anyone can find my writing on @written-by-Will on any social media site. So @written-by-Will.
Great. Will do. And that's
Jack,
it
before we go, isn't
Yep,
there
yep.
something that we want to say to all of our listeners before we depart?
Perhaps from Barney.
I love you. Oh, I love you.
Oh!
One more
The
time?
love is everywhere.
I wish Mickey hadn't left.
I don't believe anything's on. Oh my time, I kicked the door on its hinges just so I could move on. Oh, oh,
Well, hot
that's right.
dog. That was great.
I'm sorry, guys. I was looking at the chat and I was like, Will, go, do it, Will. I was like, what are they talking about?
This is the support I need.
Yeah.